Scene one, take one, the leper story. And action.
Where's the priest? Where's the priest? I gotta find him. Where's the priest? Where is he? Where is he? The priest, I know he's around here somewhere in the temple. Where's the priest? I gotta find him. He told me that I gotta have to go and tell the priest and tell him. I gotta tell the priest. You gotta understand, this morning I woke up and I had leprosy and now I don't. I gotta find the... Y'all didn't flinch. You didn't flinch when I said leprosy. You must not know what it means.
What?
Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. Leprosy. It's a skin disease. Your skin turns white and there's sores all over it, and it's horrible. It started about 5 years ago. Let me tell you the story. It started 5 years ago, and I thought something was happening. I would, every once in a while, my hands would go numb, or my foot would go numb, and then one day I came in from the fields. I've been working out, plowing all day, and I came in, and I realized what had happened. I went over to the basin to wash my hands, and then I looked down, and the water was filled with blood. I cut myself in the field, but I couldn't feel it, so I never knew it. I knew what it was then. I turned around, and my wife, she was standing there with a look of horror on her face. She handed me a towel. She says, "You know what you have to do?" I said, "Yes, I know." According to the law of Moses, I had to go to the temple and show the priests, because they have to verify that it's really leprosy. I changed clothes because I've been working in the field. While I was changing clothes, she packed up everything, or at least packed me a meal and everything like that. I came back, and she had sent the kids across the street to the neighbor's house because she was scared. And I went to kiss her one last time. She turned her head. She was scared. I didn't even get to kiss her. I went to the temple and showed the priest. He said, "It's leprosy." You've got to understand, with leprosy, you can't live with people. It's very contagious. You live away from people. They have what's called leper colonies, where there's a bunch of lepers, 100, 200 lepers come together. But there's no friends in a leper colony. They're all just waiting to die. I went home. I knew that I had to move out 5 years ago. I went home to get my stuff to move out of the house. I got home to an empty house. My wife had packed up everything that I had, packed some food, and left me a note that said that she was scared. And she had taken the kids and went to her mother's house until after I left. I didn't even get to hug my kids the last time. Didn't get to hug my wife. So I left. Like I say, a leper colony, there are no friends in a leper colony. No names. Years ago. Every once in a while, most of the time, I didn't even stay in the leper colony. Most of the time, I would stay out in the open. Sometimes make a little lean-to and sleep there. Most of the time, it was just under the starry sky. Anytime I came near a town, anytime I came near people, I had to shout out, "Unclean! Unclean!" And if I got too close to them, they would pick up rocks and throw them. Every once in a while, I would go on this hill that overlooks my house, And I would just sit there. I'd hide behind a tree because I knew my wife was too scared for me to be around. And I would look. And sometimes I'd see the kids coming out playing. Every once in a while, I'd get to see my wife come out, go to the well, and get some water. Years. But this morning, let me tell you the good news of this. This morning, okay, last night I slept at the foot of this hill, okay, and sort of in the middle of some trees where nobody could see me if they came by on the path. And I woke up this morning and I heard a lot of people coming by, and they were walking by, but they couldn't see me because of where I had slept. I was hiding behind, or not hiding, but I was slept behind the bushes. So they came walking by on this hill. What are they doing? They're up on the hill, and I'm looking from a distance. And after a while, this guy starts talking, and I realize he's preaching. And he's talking about the love of God. He's talking about the love of God. God, don't you see this? This leprosy. People won't touch me. They won't even look at me. God, how is this love? Where is a God who loves when I have leprosy? And this guy went on preaching. And I heard somebody call his name Jesus. And then after he preached, he turned to one person who had some crutches. And he reached down and he touched their leg, and they threw their crutches down and they walked. And there was another person there. I promise you, they were blind. Not only did they have somebody bringing them, they were blind. They could not see a thing. And Jesus went up to them, and he put his hand on them and touched him. And he could see. Jesus did that with a few other people. He laid hands on them and touched them and healed them. But then it happened. Then Jesus, he finished, and he started coming down the path, down the hill. And he was coming right by me. What would I do? If I shouted out, he might pick up a rock and throw it at me like everybody else had. What could I do? I panicked. I was still hiding for the moment. Finally, I just jumped out in the middle of the path. Jesus! If you want, you can heal me. You have to understand, for 5 years, nobody had touched me. Nobody. My wife hadn't touched me. Nobody. Jesus sees me. And he doesn't stop. I said, Jesus, no, stop. Don't you see I have leprosy? Stop. You can't get any closer. And he kept on walking. And he walked up to me, and I fell down at his feet. And he took his hand, and he put his hand on my face. For 5 years, nobody had touched me. And this guy's touching me. He says, I am willing. Be healed. I'm freaking out over this because nobody's touched me. And then I happen to look down, and my white arms and hands, they weren't white anymore. And I looked all over. The leprosy wasn't there. And there for a few minutes, Jesus and I danced. I was healed. And that's when he said, go. Go to the temple, obey the law, show the priests so that he will know that you've been healed. Oh, the priest. That's the reason I'm here, is to find the priest, because I've got to find the priest. Because as soon as I show the priest that I'm healed, I can go home. I can hug my wife. I can hug my kids that I haven't seen in 5 years. See y'all later. I got to find the priest. Where is he? Anybody know where he is? I got to find him.
Did God love the man?